Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Aho here with KissAnalog.com and PicoScope. We have PicoScope in the lab. I can't pick it up. We got another one right here. But PicoScope, 4 channels, 2 generators. And we got these digital inputs too. So it's an MSO type scope. But it's really like an MDO, mixed domain. It's like that GWN stick. If you saw that video I did just before this one, where I showed how the spectrum's so much easier to set up than FFT because it takes care of a bunch of the sampling things and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to bring you over here, show you on my MacBook how nice the Pico is and how it has THD and all these other measurements. It's just really cool. It's of all the scopes, it makes the FFT really easy to use. It has all kinds of power on it, and I want to show you that. Let's come over to the bench, jump into this. 2 big thumbs up to Pico for sending this out to me. Really appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. It's a new 3000 series, guys. All right, so let's come over here and take a look. All right, guys. I have plugged in the PicoScope. It's a 3416E, started the software, and it looks, if you don't have it, it'll let you do this generic so you can try it for free. You can do this demo for free, guys. But okay, so I hook up to the scope, say yes, let's do that one. Here's some relays going on, and let's start. Whoops, I guess it was going to automatically start and I stopped it. That's a zoom window, by the way. Okay, so my vertical channels are over here. It looks like I'm off the screen. So I'm going to come up here. It's selected right now for plus minus 1 volt. So I'm going to go to auto. Let it just choose it for me. Okay, so we can see it's going up there. There's some noise on the thing. That's fine. But let's just go through this setup real fast. AC. I'm not using any bandwidth limit. I could reduce noise, but I'll just leave it full bandwidth for now. Probe is ×1 because I've got just a BNC to BNC from the generator. So, but I would have the options to choose current probes, any probes I haven't installed, or it automatically select this probe, identify it, and show me the probe. And DSP, we could increase the resolution bits, but we're not going to do that. I could do an active filter. I could look how that filtered that out, made it look so good, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it free run. We'll see the noise. Okay, so that's that channel. Okay, here is the time base. So right now it's 5 milliseconds per division. And my sampling is 8 megasample. Okay, so buffer memory here. Sample rate 7 gigasamples. Look at that, guys. 7 gigasamples. Whoa, let's max out at 10 gigasamples. Now, what it'll do based on other setups is it'll come up here and max things out. So right now it's maxed out at 2.5 gigasamples per second. The buffer's 9 megasamples. I'm going to just max that out. I'm just going to, try to max it. And, wow, look at that. 2 gigasamples. Crazy, right? But what it's come up to, because of the other settings, 125 megasamples per second up here, okay? If I try to get more cycles, I can increase that. See, because then we need more samples of a higher frequency, right? But we're going to go down to about 10 milliseconds. And here I'm going to change the frequency so you can see there's 63 hertz. So look, I'll freeze it. So, and we got some noise on there. That's fine. I think we can clean it up a little bit. I'm going to put a ground strap on it just to see if that cleaned it up. It looked like it cleaned up just a little bit, but that's fine. It's got some noise. I just want to show you how this spectrum is going to work. Okay. Now down here, I'm going to trash these measurements because there's already some set up, but I've got my 1 volt RMS coming in here, okay? And see, this gives me, if I can get so many cycles at 60 hertz, that means I got really good resolution at high frequencies, okay? So now we're going to go back up to 63. 63 is just a number I've been using on some of the other ones just because it was an easy setup kind of thing. It wasn't for any specific reason. I was kind of shooting for 5 to 10K, but around 5K, I guess, but 63. Okay, so now we got lots of cycles. So now what I can do, I can use this like an MDO, mixed domain. I'm in time domain. I can go to frequency domain and just go to spectrum. I've also got the persistence over here and XY. So, but let me just change the scope to spectrum analyzer, and there we go. Simple as that. So 20 kilohertz bandwidth is over here to the far right. So 0 to 20K. Now I can come up here and click on this, and I can start, frequency, stop. I can kind of zoom in like that. My bin width right now is 4.7 kilohertz. That's not very good. I want to make that a little bit better. So what we're going to do is come up to bin. See, 4.7K. Huh, that's interesting. Let's increase it. So now we're down to 6 millihertz. Okay, now I go back out there at 1.2 hertz at 16K. You know, 1 hertz is pretty darn good resolution, right? So if you get better, it just takes longer for it to update. You can kind of see it's, you know, taking a moment between. And if I go back to the bins, it'll tell us 1.6 seconds between, you know, for collection time. So to fill up all those bins. So we're dB volts. We got all these other options. We're going to leave it there. We could come down here to X and go log if we wanted to and say how many decades. But yeah, so we're in log for vertical, and I could go to average, which cleans up things really well, gives us some good readings. That's really kind of a good way to filter things. We can go to peak, but let's just go to average, okay? You notice the noise floor is down around 76. I don't know, it's down here pretty low, right? So look how clean that is. And look at that narrow spike up there. And then we got this guy over here, harmonic. And then another harmonic over here. So that's pretty cool, right? Look, I got these little lines here. I could bring them down. I can measure it this way. I got one. I could say, okay, that's right about, you know, 0.2 dB, I think that is. And then I could bring this guy down and put it down on one of these other guys, maybe that second harmonic right there. So mine is 69.49. This one's 0.2 up here. So, but I could also come over here in measurements. And look at this. We can actually measure THD, percentage and decibels, THD plus noise. So let's come up here and let's do that amplitude. Let's find that peak. So we'll say at peak. We could say nearest ruler 1 or ruler 2. You know, we got other options here. We could, if we had other channels turned on, we could select those. But let's just do that. And then let's go to frequency at peak. Same kind of setups. Let's just leave it. So down here at the bottom, we got 0.49 dB. Good. I mean, ideally it'd be 0, but oh, I should show you one more thing here. If we come back up to the spectrum, hit that, I go to bins, I can also show you we got Blackman selected right now. Look at all these options. Let's go to Hanning. So right now it's minus 0.5, right? Let's just see if it gets any better. No, not really. 0.66. So anyway, you can choose different windows like that. Just really simple, and it's got a big option there. And then over here, 6.3 kilohertz was what my generator says it's putting out. So and now I could just shrink it down so I get just the basic information, or I could get those statistical measurements as well. or I can go large if I'm just having a hard time seeing things. But I usually leave it on medium. If you have more measurements, sometimes small might be better because you can get, a couple they'll stack on top of each other. But I'll put it there for now. Look at that. Isn't that really cool? So my rollers are up here. It gives them information here. I can go over here and look. Yeah, I just think this is so easy to use. And here's 86. We got about 12 dBs per decade, per division here. So 6 dBs in the middle. This is about 3 dBs down. So about 75 minus 75 dB is the noise floor. And then our signal's up here at 0. It's 1 volt. So that's great. So easy to use. Oh, and if I click on here, it gets rid of that window. So we really spread it out, get all the use. Now that's going up here, changing this to an MDO, now we're in frequency domain, right? We're just looking at different frequencies. Here's frequency here, one over here. But the other thing I can do is I could go and I could say to views, and we actually have more views. I could say, well, I want to see the scope view too. So now look, manage spectrum 1. I could go over here, highlights that one up there for spectrum. Over here, scope. I can look at the scope. I can select what channels I want on the scope or which channels I want on the spectrum. I can auto arrange them. So there's different options here. Now I can click over here again, gets rid of that window. And I can say, well, I want to look at my voltage down here, make sure my signal looks good, but let's just shrink it down a little bit. So I can maybe shrink it down a little bit more if I want. And then that way I get my spectrum using up most of this window. So that's pretty cool, huh? Now another thing you can do, if you want, you can just go ahead and grab this guy and pull it up and just change your own window. Then you can just move this around the way you want. And then you can click on the window underneath and just have your whole thing for your spectrum. But if you want to pull that back up, you can go over here and click on it and then click on the scope and it'll pop right back in there. So then you can look at it. And so really cool, huh? Just want to show you all the, some of the power of the Pico just real quick, just kind of compared to those other FFT videos I've done recently. So I did this kind of a series of 3 of them. Yeah, go back and watch the other one on the GW Instec where I showed the MDO, and then I kind of showed some step-by-step ways of doing things easy. Basically, it's that grabbing so many cycles at your lowest frequency to get your frequency resolution. So there we go, guys. Pretty cool, huh? Hi, guys. Yeah, I should turn on the other channels and really showed you how cool this is. But if you can see from there, there's little lights on here showing you the colors. So they've just done a really cool job with the front end of this thing. And software's amazing from PicoScope. So this guy, all the scopes that I have from Pico, all the PicoScopes work the same software. Super powerful software being updated all the time. But I'm going to do another video where I'm going to kind of run through this and show a bunch of the features. But since we're doing this FFT stuff on these other scopes, like the Uni-T back here, the MSO 3054, this Pico, it's like in that category of that scope, okay, price-wise. And the features are kind of a little bit different, but it's PicoScope 3416E. So, and it's the MSO because of those digital channels that they give you, and they give you all the probes and all that stuff with it. So you don't have to buy the probe separate, where a lot of the other scopes you have to pay another $300 to get the MSO option actually usable. But yeah, this one is a 8 and 10-bit hardware, okay, 200 megahertz. Yeah, it's 2 gig of samples per second, but you can actually oversample it and get a lot higher sample rate, like I kind of showed you briefly here. But very powerful scope. They're amazing. So there you go. Hopefully you like that. two big thumbs up to my patrons and YouTube members that help support the channel. Really appreciate you guys. And all you guys for watching the videos. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Leave your comments, share the video, subscribe, okay? We're going to get into some power supply design stuff real quick here. Just have to kind of finish up some, you know, it's the holidays, so I'm doing a lot more reviews during the holidays, but we're going to get into projects, okay? So especially going into next year, we're going to be real heavy into projects. And I'm going to try to get one out. Gosh, yeah, I'm going to take some time off from work for the holidays, so we're going to try to get a project, okay? So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.